Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for January 31st. In 1827, Mexican forces, accompanied by volunteers from Austin's colony, arrived in Nacogdoches to put down the Fredonian Rebellion. But the rebels under Hayden Edwards, who had staged the rebellion and declared independence from Mexico on December 21st, had fled into Louisiana. This ended that short-lived independence movement. In 1859, the Menger Hotel, one of the state's oldest and best-known hotels, was opened in San Antonio by German immigrant William Menger. He arrived in San Antonio in the early 1840s and operated a brewery and boarding house before expanding the latter into a two-story hotel. It was so successful that a 40-room annex was built later. Menger died in 1871 at age 44. The Menger was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1926. In 1876, a posse led by Sheriff Ed Gardner approached the William Means ranch house in San Patricio County to arrest 3 of Means' sons who had shot up the town of Papalote the night before. In the confusion, the elder Means was killed. His sons subsequently made threats against Gardner, which they carried out 7 months later. The feud likely began when local ranchers petitioned the sheriff to have the Means cattle dipped to control Mexican cattle ticks, and Means refused to do so. When his cattle had been dipped, over his objections, Means was billed for the costs, but refused to pay. In 1827, the Texas legislature designated the mockingbird as the Texas state bird. The mockingbird is also the state bird of 4 other states. And in 1993, the Dallas Cowboys won Super Bowl 27th, which was their third, with a 52-17 victory over the Buffalo Bills in Pasadena, California, the Rose Bowl. Troy Aikman was the game MVP. And finally, in 2023, an anticipated but underestimated ice storm descended on central and northern Texas and continued through February 2nd, causing power outages due to ice-coated limbs and trees falling on power lines. Of approximately 350,000 customers who lost power in the state, about 160,000 were in the Austin area, and some were without power for 2 weeks due to extensive damage and limited crews. The storm also did damage in other states, but the worst was in central Texas, with Fisher and Kingsland reporting 0.75 and 0.67 inches of accumulation, respectively. The storm caused 7 deaths in Texas and resulted in the Austin city manager being forced to step down. All right, that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for January 31st. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you back here on the next one. All right, you take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.